Good morning, YouTube. It is 7 a.m. in the great state of Texas, and we are doing another pen video because it's Thursday, and on Thursdays we do pens. And today we have got another cool acrylic. It is Grape Escape. That's what this one is called. I didn't name it that. The company I bought this off of Amazon named it that. But we have this cool acrylic swirling kind of a color, and it looks really cool. I'm super duper excited about this one. I always love these acrylic pens. I'm getting a lot better at using them, and this is probably one of the best pens that I've ever made. So doing what we typically will do once we get it out of the package here, we're just taking it over to the bandsaw. We're going to cut that down into the sizes that we want, and I've kind of perfected this technique as well, just drilling a hole straight through using the vise. I think I'm getting a lot better results with that one. I used to just take it over to the lathe and then just puncture it that way, but I've been having a lot of blowout on the back portions of this, so I've gotten a little bit better about just doing this in the center. And I don't have a drill press, but there's that. And then we're going to take it over to the sandpaper, scrape up the brass a little bit, and then take some glue and then get everything adhesed so that we can turn this down onto the lathe. So getting a lot better about making these pen blanks in general overall. And every Thursday we're just doing these pen blanks, and so far we've been quite successful. Haven't had a lot of blowouts since last week. So getting this over to the lathe, just going to start using our smaller carbide tool here just to turn down the pen initially. And I'm always worried that something is going to explode on the lathe, because when I first started making pens like this, that was my biggest issue, was just having these pen blanks kind of just combust when they started spinning on the lathe. But this project goes relatively smooth. Not a whole lot of issues here from what I could remember. Just death grip on the chisel, which has got to be like the most annoying thing about doing these pens in general. But overall, pretty happy with how this one's going to turn out. But we're getting the good shavings off on this first piece here, going from left to right, obviously. And then the only real issue that I'm experiencing is just when I'm turning the shavings on the acrylic pieces, they tend to bundle up a little bit and they kind of nest a little bit. So that's about it. But I'm having to start and stop the lathe a couple of different times just so that I can get an idea of like what the size of it is going to be. So got that first portion done, and then we're just switching it over to the other piece here, obviously doing pretty much the same thing, but getting another little bit of a nesting portion here, having to start and stop the lathe, which is kind of annoying, but it's not too bad. It definitely beats the actual piece just kind of like blowing up on you. But this part doesn't take any time at all. Once you start working down the material a little bit, you get a little bit more aggressive with the chisels, and the shavings just tend to come off a little bit easier. But this part went relatively smooth here. You just see me starting and stopping a couple of times, which I think I'm pretty much used to. But once we got that all done, now we're going to work over to our sanding part, which is my favorite part. And I really don't mind doing this because it really doesn't take much. We're not doing crazy polishing or anything. I think we go from like 120 to 220 to 320 overall on this one, and then we're just going to seal it with some glue here and then polish it up, and then we'll be done. But another successful pin this week, not having a lot of issues here, and you can see where the super glue just kind of really just makes the acrylic pop on screen here. But getting that finished, let that dry, maybe apply another coat here, and then just making sure that it's coated evenly on the actual blank itself. So we're going to go ahead and just take this down here once we're finished, let it air dry, and wait for the glue to kind of just adhese. And then we're going to take the bandsaw, not the bandsaw, but the sander, and just get everything down nice and flushed. Those pen blanks tend to be a little bit longer than what I need them for, so just taking it over to the sander tends to work out a little bit better. So our pen for this one is black, which looks really cool against this purple blue color. The actual screen does not do it justice. The purple is a lot darker, and the camera really doesn't kind of capture that, so that's kind of unfortunate. But this really cool bright purple kind of color looks really cool. I already know who's going to steal this from me, but overall, really good project. Really happy how this one turned out. No issues whatsoever. Turned out great. The acrylic getting way better at turning that, so that's always a plus. But here we are. This is what the pen looks like at the end. You can see the cool swirls of the color, and I should have turned up the brightness because, again, it really can't really see it on the camera. But overall, pretty happy with it. So hope you guys liked it. Hope you got something out of it. Another pin on Thursday. Thursdays are our pen days, and I hope you guys enjoy watching as much as I love making them. So I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, peace. Alright, so project is done, and another cool, successful pen in the books. Getting really good at these pens. This one didn't explode. The bushings were really good on the edges of the pen, so nothing kind of exploded, which was good. And this deep purple, cool acrylic color looks awesome with this black tint, or this black, all the pieces that kind of go with it. But man, that looks really, really cool. Really happy how this one turned out. Couldn't say anything better about this pen. I mean, yeah, just another pen on Thursday. Yeah, so again, if you guys don't like watching pens, pens are on Thursdays, and yes, they are all kind of the same, but I like making them, and they look really cool. And I got a bunch more of acrylics to do, and I got some wood blanks too. So we're not at the phase where I'm making my own blanks yet, but we might get there eventually. But anyway, hope you guys liked it. Cool pen, purple pen. And I will see you guys in the next one. All right, peace. Boop.